Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Spincast Cycling Show. Brian Kellison, Lisa Reese, Casey Shum. Somebody's on a boat celebrating somebody's birthday, probably. No Brian White, but we're going to get into it because we have a hard, and somebody just snuck in the background. Oh my goodness. Bike Terra, that's who I want to talk about. But does anyone want to bring up something else before we get into Bike Terra? Because I forgot to send you the links to these videos. Anything? Casey, you're the one's been riding. I actually rode today. I rode on Bike Terra, but I haven't ridden in like 4 weeks because of my rib and my crash.
So what I've been doing, and I think all three of us have been doing, I got into a week of heat training. I think I've done 4 or 5 sessions of heat training. Lots of ZRL, lots of ladder racing. And
all right, let me, because I think I noticed this. We're going to get a ZRL a little bit. I would like to just touch on ZRL now. ZRL, whatever it is for anybody that's listening from over the from the Commonwealth. Is it still like do a race and then a time trial, or is it just there's no real team time trial stuff? And is it really what is it still not what is it, not verified? It's not verified it's more to back end verify, like if
not really verified at all.
Okay.
Not really verified at all. Nothing's really changed probably from the last 2 years. If you would ask ZRL, they would say they've changed a lot. But I would say from a casual user, there's really nothing changed. There's no additional verifications. It's pretty much the same formats. We're doing some team time trials. We're doing points races. We're doing scratch races. They divided the divisions in half this year. So there's like an upper B and a lower B division. So rather than trying to solve some of the sandbagging and that, they just kind of, there's 10 essentially categories instead of the 5 that were there before. But it's about the same. And I think just my 30-second impression of ZRL is what I'm really struggling with is despite them doing nothing to progress the league and not making significant changes or not really investing in trying to do something different, it's still good racing because there's a lot of people there that are pretty evenly matched. So I enjoy racing it, even though I struggle even participating because I'm feeding something that isn't really progressing like it could, and it's frustrating. So I'm frustrated with the organizers, but it's good racing despite the dysfunction and the lack of progress. And that's more just because people are there, I think, than anything.
Social network.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a social ride. It's the group ride.
I mean, there's a ton of guys in my category that I've raced with before, Aero Potato and Boyko and a bunch of those guys that have always kind of bounced between upper B and lower A, and it's super competitive. And I'm a really competitive high B right now. I've lost a little weight. I'm in really good shape, so that's fun, right? I took it to a 13th place finish in a really stacked field. So yeah, I mean it like I said, but there's nothing new.
Is it serious? From
No.
like from not from your standpoint, from the people that are winning, is it a win or is it rec league win?
I think most of the riders take it seriously, but it's not serious racing. There is a lot of the
weigh-in videos, right?
There's a lot of questionable things, right? Out there. Yeah.
Well, I think any sort of competition turns into a competition. If you put the term race in front of it, whether it's beer league or competitive, people are going to, go for it and try to win. And
keep it together, timed group ride.
And they're going to go into work the next day and say, I won this indoor race, whether it's, rec league or not.
I kind of laugh because I recruited Brian White to join my team last week because we had an empty spot. And we all know, like, he's technically a B right now, which makes no sense. Amp Bev's actually an A, and they have identical power curves. Like, that's all Zwift math. but he technically qualifies for my ZRL league. And like this week he's talking about like attacking and trying to get away. And I kind of laugh because it's like that. Nobody does that in ZRL because yeah, anybody capable of doing that knows they get upgraded if they do it, right? Like Brian's going to attack and go off the front, and he's going to get an A upgrade, get DQ'd, right? So I kind of chuckle because I know that's what's going to happen, but I'm not pumping the brakes on him because I don't want to. I don't want to. You know, I don't want to encourage sandbagging, right?
Yeah,
like,
but an individual rider will get upgraded out of the team.
Yeah, he would get DQ'd and he would get upgraded if you haven't done at least 4. And this first session is only 4 races, so you have to participate in 4 before you're locked in for the rest of that session. I think in normal sessions are like 8 weeks, so something like that.
So it's fun because there's a lot of people.
Yeah, it's 95 racers and absolutely brutal course, and we took 45 into the final bump, you know, because it was 2 sprints, and it's that little spiral climb in McCurry down in the new section of McCurry. So it was brutal, like VO2 type racing, and 44 of us held on, and everybody who held on averaged like 3.8 plus in a B group. So I mean, it was a stacked group of Bs. So that was fun. Punishing. I would never pick to do that again, and I would never pick that course or that format because it was terrible, but it was great racing.
So is Packed IMX, whatever version of this is this changing things? No?
Nah, I mean, you're either good at it or you're not, right? Like, I mean, It doesn't matter what they do with pack dynamics. The people that learn how to ride efficiently are going to learn how to ride efficiently in any version of pack dynamics. I went into this rant a little bit on the side. I was thinking about this because I get annoyed every time I join a ZRL race where it says I can't brake or steer. You know, a little pop-up comes up, and I'm like, where Zwift screwed up on this, and this is kind of my side rant on ZRL.
Okay.
Instead of shutting off steering and then they made a side league for steering only, they should have made the side league for the non-steerers and forced the people complaining to jump to the other side. Because I think if you forced the people who didn't like it to move away from the group, they wouldn't have. But now you're forcing the steerers to move away from the group to get steering, to go to the baby league.
Yeah.
So that's my side ZRL rant. One of the
I think
major.
Zwift has enough of a population that they probably could force steering on everyone. I think RGT, that was kind of the downfall, was RGT didn't have enough of a
RGT's
user
steering
base.
or positioning was terrible.
It was.
It was terrible. It was terrible.
Yeah, it was.
I tried to care, and it was just like, this is not.
It hurts BK to say that too, doesn't it? It hurts.
It's terrible.
I think it's always
I missed the pre-positioning steering chevron, move it in the lane RGT. Yes. That's the one I miss.
I think the good thing with ZRL is they always have fantastic attendance, and the races are always very well attended. And with a lot of people, I mean, wanting to race, and Zwift has a race every 15 minutes, I think it just shows you that if you do have set times that people know about, people will show up.
Yeah, this is a good segue. I want to get into Bike Terra, so let's segue into Bike Terra, and then we'll touch on other stuff, because I watched Felty, friend of the show. He's been doing the OTR races, which have moved to Bike Terra. So I'm watching that. And then I rode today for the first time in about 4 weeks since my crash. Just been dealing with the rib, broken rib. Finally is not tender enough to where it kind of hurts. But the 2 segues is people are starting to show up to timed things, regular, just random ride, which is what I did today. There's like I think a route a week. I did that today, and I was the only one on the route for like the first 45 minutes, and then somebody popped in, and so you're riding by yourself. But I wanted to get in there and try the new stuff, because we didn't touch on this last week because we were off, but they have upgraded their animations on the downhills. Now, Lee, I just sent you the 2 clips in, and I want people to see this. The video audience can check this out, but I recorded me doing it downhill. So I rode what was it, like this is for the Matt and Anslo at the Bike Terra. When you guys release this cool animation and the cool avatar, like they upgraded their avatars, and I'll touch on a bunch of that, put a route of the week that will exploit that. This was like just a straight point to point, and there was like none of these downhills. Okay, so this is me. So you can see the lean. So for the people that are only on audio only, there's like this lean. The body sort of leans. The you know the counterbalance where you throw your knee out. And you're in the drops. So they've done that, and they got rid of the little hitchy in the leg sort of thing. The subtle movement. Your ankle and your pedal moves a little bit. Like if you have a little float, there's a little bit of that.
Back is like the
it's a little hip. Yeah, it's like your normal. It's like it looks real.
It's so much better.
It's so much better. And there's a couple of these. So I did two. One where it's like a back angle, and then there's one that's like straight on. It looks so good. It was so enjoyable. So I had to go to this other ride. This is not the route that I did. After I did my hour long, I jumped on this to record it, to come on the show and talk about it. But you said looks
good.
Yeah, it looks great. And so it's also braking. This is the part of the segue too, Casey. You said you hated going into an event that said there's no steering and no braking. This has positioning and it has braking. So it does an auto braking. So I think on this number 2 Bike Terra downhill number 2, I sort of stopped. You can see my watts are done, but you can see how you can get up on. It gets on the hoods. It feels so like it looks like it feels in real life. So it's a head-on shot and then a side angle shot, right? So when I go back into the side angle shot now, the braking is on like a hairpin. You can look at the little map in the bottom right.
Oh, the knee came out a little bit.
Yeah, the knee comes out.
You see that?
Yeah, and you lean in.
Oh,
and the head kind of counterbalances. But see that right there? And it like a little, yeah. And you kind of stop pedaling when you're
really
going around the corner.
interesting was watching Felty's race because there was 2 people side by side, both.
Yes.
Leaning.
Yeah. And there's like a double lean. Like I was talking to Bjorn, friend of the show, Bjorn. He was also recording this and showing me stuff. And there's like a double lean. Like if you're going around somebody, you can like, when it's a really fast corner, you can really lean into it. And there's where it's like a subtle lean. So they're really focusing on this animation. Look, watch, I go around this bridge here. So it'll brake. See the braking? And then you like really lean. That I don't think you could slow. You don't slow as much like you would in real life. But you hit you like kind of tap the brake because the brake light in the back is sort of the indicator for braking. But I really like this. I really enjoyed it. You can close that. That's me.
It's good. And I remember, so I did the first Friday.
Your videos that you watch, Lee.
Yeah. I did that race a week ago, 9 days ago.
Yeah, the OTR one.
The Friday. I think that was the first OTR one, maybe, that they had that new animation in it. And yeah, it looked good. And then it reminded me, and you were saying like, this consistent time, consistent thing, right? Like I know Friday lunchtime, I know Tuesdays, there's always a Bike Terra race. And it's like, if I'm free at those times, I always jump in them because that's when I know I can always dependably get people to race against, which I love. And then Bike Terra, it's got those little things like the one I did 9 days ago. I went there to watch the avatar stuff, but also I wanted to test virtual shifting. I had never done.
Oh, right. They've added that, and I don't have that because I don't have the clicks or the new clicks or the old clicks or whatever.
Yeah, I had never tested the true virtual shifting on Bike Terra, and with the new Kicker Core 2 that I've got, the LED lights on it light up a different color for virtual shifting. So I wanted to connect the Bike Terra to verify if they were doing their own kind of hacked virtual shifting, playing with slopes, or if they were using the trainer mode like Zwift does for virtual shifting. They're using the trainer mode. My LED colors change just the same as Ruby, just the same as Zwift. So I used Click V2. So I've got the new version of the Clicks. So I was using those for virtual shifting, the new avatar movements, and then we had a lot of talk in the game, like toward the end of it, because it was a downhill start, which is so much fun in Bike Terra
right,
with no
yeah.
physics.
I think
I
they
sprinted
did that
out
on
of the
purpose.
gate,
Yeah, I
and then
think they
they're
did that on purpose.
complaining, you know, because I'm going through the hairpins 50 meters up on everybody,
Yeah.
railing the corners, and Felty, it was Felty, and was it Holes, I think is the name, were just killing themselves to get back to me. We ended up shattering the group. I think James, the OTR guy, got back with us too. It ended up being 4 of us, but I mean, I splintered it right out of the gate because I love those little things in games like that cornering difference where you can take advantage. You can use your legs to place yourself in a way to get that little advantage, right? Which is
it will break you. You can keep pedaling, but it will break you.
Yep.
And when it's a tight corner, because I was doing that hairpin, it will stop pedaling, even though you're pedaling. It will stop pedaling you.
It doesn't.
I then stopped pedaling and I stopped pedaling. So I was not sending watts and it stopped me, but you can continually send watts. That's where it's like, it's going to get to the point where people are going to know the corners. Like they're going to see up ahead and go, you know, I don't even need to pedal because it's going to make me not pedal. So I'll just save the energy.
But with like race mode, right? New Kicker Core has race mode. With race mode, right? You can ride more efficiently because when I see it braking, I stop pedaling. And as soon as I see it coming out of the corner, you hit it again. There's no penalty. Bike Terra doesn't penalize you for pedaling through the corner like Training Peaks does.
No.
But you're burning watts that are not sending you forward, right? So it's wasteful. And then for those that don't know what I'm referencing on the cornering physics, I think Lee and Brian know this, but if you corner side by side in Bike Terra, it slows you more than if you corner by yourself. So by jumping out to a lead, I'm going through the apex of the corner faster than the guys chasing me who are side by side. So that's one of the little nuances that you learn is you want to get that separation in front of or behind somebody to get through those corners faster.
Which is such a fantastic feature because, I mean, that is realism.
Yeah, the caution physics. Yeah, that's really cool. One thing I noticed too, because I was watching, I think, Casey, you were bringing up and we can go back to the Ghost and the socks or whatever it is. Little bug we have. But in Bike Terra, you kind of have better hitboxes. Like the bunches are smaller because the groups are smaller. So let's say they had 1,000 people. I don't know, it'd be like that, but most races are not gonna be 1,000 people. Let's say you have 100 people. You start to echelon a little bit more. You start to kind of like fan out, which is sort of more traditionally, if you're going to the same power, you don't just ride in this little blob, which is what we're so used to. But it kind of like echelons. I was watching Felty. He would fall to the back after pulling for the front, and he would fall to the back and sort of like stay behind. And it was like 4 or 5 across because they were all kind of staying in the same wattage. And he was just kind of hanging out in the back and recovering from his effort. Where other games that we see don't seem to do that. They don't have a little more liberal hitbox, or they are just using the math and putting everyone sort of in the same place, and they're not really spreading them out.
And I think that hitbox is also true on the drafting. Right. Right. Like if you're off to the left or right side in the second row in Bike Terra, you lose a lot of your draft. Where like Ruby, it's just there's no horizontal placement to the draft at all. If you're behind someone, you could be right of lane and they're left of lane. If you're behind them, you have the same draft whether you are nose to tail or 5 foot across the lane. Where Bike Terra, if you're drifting back, you got to get to the back of the group to get back over to get the draft. You can't ride side by side second wheel and get the same draft.
Yeah, and you have the draft indicator. So I remember doing those early tests where you're kind of off to the left or off to the right, and then you kind of force it by using the keyboard. You do lose the draft a lot, but when you're in the draft, it's really beneficial, and that's why people like doing it.
And I appreciate that.
That's what is it? The pace line.
I just appreciate that format because all those little things we're talking about, I feel like creates more skill through the racing. So you can build a skill gap by learning the game, being good at the game, not just being strong, but being good at the game. You can build yourself a little bit of a skill gap there.
Well, yeah, the cornering, I mean, that's exactly it. Knowing that you need to go hard off the front to create that gap. If someone doesn't know that, they're going to be stuck in the pack going downhill going, why can't I gain?
Yeah.
So the cool thing. Go ahead, Lee. Go.
So I was just gonna continue because I was gonna lead into.
Okay, I have one more I have one more Bike Terra thing about the cornering because I brought up the thing. So I wasn't recording this route, which was the whatever route of the week. It was essentially straight the entire time, so it was up and down, up and down. But going into town, so like you get there, it's like maybe a kilometer left or something like that. It's a 90-degree turn, so it's like a 90. It's like kind of like chunky because it's like a GPX or whatever it is. But you cut that corner. Auto, like I didn't use the arrows. It really took the apex. So I don't know if they've implemented, hey, take the apex if you're by yourself versus like, you know, how you kind of just, you know, like with other, you just follow the track. This one left the middle of the lane that you're in because it's a two-way road usually in Bike Terra. So it's split down the middle in the center line. But this cut this 90-degree angle on the apex, like right at that sort of 90-degree angle inside corner. And I was like, whoa, that's really cool to see. Now, I don't know if that's like an advantage or anything like that, but visually, it felt much better seeing that than having
the turns.
Yeah. You're like, and you like lean and the lean. It was, you get that lean and then come out of the lean while you're cutting the apex. I was like, that's clean. That felt really good.
Because that's similar to TPV. It's the same sort of coasting turning. If you're by yourself, the guy really cuts the corner.
Yeah.
Apexes it. If you're in a group and you can't cut the corner, even if you coast, you're sort of stuck.
Mm. Yeah.
But I want to touch on with Casey talking about the clicks working with Bike Terra, because I see on social media, on like social media pages like My Whooshes, at least once a week, where someone has posted a picture of their brand new Zwift ride bike. And then the post says something along the lines of, hey, I bought this. Yeah. It works awesome. I tried it in My Whoosh. Why won't it work? And this is literally once a week. Actually, when the Zwift ride came out, it was probably 3 or 4 times a week, and it's gone down to about once a week. And I'm like, oh my gosh, did you not research? But I wanted to talk about, there is apps out there now that you can use virtual shifting, not through third-party apps. There is apps out there that make virtual shifting, but as Casey touched on, Bike Terra, you can use the clicks. Ruvi, you can use the clicks, and it works exactly like a Zwift. Ruvi and Bike Terra.
So this is the public service announcement. You pair it through the app directly.
Yep.
Exactly like how it's intended to work. No workarounds, no third-party apps. It works through the firmware of the trainer.
There's value in getting it. Getting the click 1 or click 2?
Both work. I don't think you can get click 1s now. I think the click 2 replaced them. $50 you can get a cog and a click 2 from Zwift. So yeah, both Bike Terra and Ruvi are the two that are kind of using it natively. They both just pair the device like you would in Zwift. The only little trick in Bike Terra, and this is super simple, but as soon as you pair a smart trainer, there's a little thing that says, it's like a drop down that says sim mode. Once you pair the controllers, if you click that drop down, you can change that sim mode drop down to virtual shifting. So just pairing the clicks, you'll still be in regular sim mode. You have to change that drop down on the pairing screen from sim to virtual shifting. Now, Ruvi automatically puts the gear shifter on your screen when you pair the clicks. Like it just automatically. If you have a compatible smart trainer and you pair a click, Ruvi.
So those are available worldwide?
I don't know about, if you got a friend who lives somewhere,
that is always the problem.
Is it pay to win?
Zwift.
Is it pay to win?
Yeah. No.
But I mean, the Zwift ride, it's honestly a super reasonably priced, trainer / smart bike, and honestly, I think they'll sell more because people now can use it elsewhere. I think when they came out and was like, you could only use this in Zwift, people are like, why would I buy this? Like,
so the Zwift ride is compatible.
It is
because the Zwift ride is basically just the frame.
The plays are the only ones that aren't, and the reason why is the play is 2 Bluetooth connections to get left and right. And the new click, even though it's 2 devices, it's a single Bluetooth. They join in their pairing.
It's very similar.
That's the trick.
Okay.
Yeah, the new clicks are very similar to dual-sided power. Dual-sided power meters typically use one as like a master, like Garmin pedals. The right one talks to the left, and then the left sends the signal to.
So if you lose one, you'll get half power, and then you can tell it to switch and go to one-sided, but it will duplicate it. Like
Ruvy's already dabbling with the click version 2. A couple of the extra buttons are already doing things in Ruvy. I can pause my ride, and I can do the thumbs up with buttons on the new clicks in Ruvy. So they're already pulling in the other buttons a little bit in Ruvy on their first release.
Actually, speaking of pause, I do want to say that I ranted a few months back that Ruvy was super aggressive with the auto pause, and their latest update about 3 weeks ago removed the auto pause. You actually have to enable auto pause. So in Ruvy, you can now come to a stop,
and it'll just kind of hang out.
It just stays.
Okay.
The video is just
paused. For people that don't know, Ruvy would immediately like throw up a screen that says, "Are you done?"
Immediately.
Yeah. Like you would like let off the power just for like a split second, and it was like,
if you were climbing a hill,
if
you were climbing a hill, like a steep hill, and your trainer has a lot of resistance, you stop almost immediately. So you would stop pedaling, it would instantly go to the pause screen. And then what would happen is when you started pedaling, it would register that you were pedaling, but it would register at 0 resistance. So you're trying to pedal at 130 RPM to try to get some wattage so that the game would recognize that you had wattage that you would want to start climbing. And it was just, I'm like, just leave us. If I'm on a hill and I stop, just leave me on the hill. But it works that way now. It's awesome.
Right on.
Just one next step on the Zwift ride, just to point out for those that maybe don't follow along, is with the Zwift ride now, it's a Kicker Core 2.
Yes.
You now have race mode. You now have Durcon. You now have a Bluetooth heart rate bridge. All for, I mean, the price pretty much stayed the same. It might have bumped 20 or $50 or something on the Core 2. But I mean, it's MSRP on the Core 2 is $550.
I can't imagine buying a smart bike now. Like honestly, I'm like, unfortunately, at one time I really wanted a smart bike, but I mean, the Zwift ride with a Core 2, that's pretty tough to beat for price.
The only thing the smart bike gets you now is like the MyWooshes and that, right? Where because you're not limited to just the virtual shifting platform. But I gotta.
But and you also don't get the elevation.
Right, you don't get the elevation. Yeah,
but some of the Wahoo bikes don't have the elevation. I think it's only the top one.
But I have a Kicker Move, and I can have a climb, and I can do it.
Oh, with the climb, yes.
You haven't got anything. You haven't heard much about that. It was called a Square. I forget what was it. Tax. It wasn't Tax. It was Elite. Yeah, Elite. That one's not gotten out into the wild much. Like, I mean, the Zwift ride flew out, and that thing was announced, and I haven't seen anything.
Well, and I think Elite was doing their virtual shifting with the Square through an app.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
because they have buttons on the thing too.
As much as it probably works and works consistently, I just don't like having 7 things paired and having to pair. And that's why when we were talking about the clicks, I didn't want to bring up third-party apps that use the clicks because there is third-party apps that use the clicks for every app. But it's like you're pairing the clicks to the app and then the app to the game. And it's just like, I want to get on the bike and ride. Like,
and it gets fuzzy if you want to get into some serious racing, right? Like you can't take those weird hacked in between things and jump into a serious. You shouldn't be using that stuff in ZRL. You can't use that stuff in Sunday Race Club, right? Like
TPV will stop you. Ruvy, some Ruvy races will stop you. Like it'll just
because you're trying to do virtual shifting.
Well, just because Ruvy and both TPV have smart trainer only rides, and it will recognize that you're trying to use like a, spin bike through an app, and it'll just go, nope, you're not in.
Yeah. Right on.
So Ruvy and TPV,
my steer
I think they both
anymore.
recognize the actual sensor pairing of the trainer. like you see in the results of Ruby races, it'll actually say, like mine says Wahoo 5 BAB in the results because it's registered the trainer.
So my Steerzo, this fell on
Steerzo.
I was cleaning my garage and I found my Steerzo. It's in the box. Does that even still work? Is that even supported?
It still works in Zwift.
Oh, it'll work in Zwift. It'll work in the Arrow.
I haven't tried it. I still use it. I don't use it for steering. I use it because I actually have a rubber mat that my trainer sits on. Yeah. And over last winter, when I didn't have a
it tore up the map. It tore up the mat.
It tore up my tire. I got a huge flat spot in like a GP5000. So I used the Steerzo.
You gotta rotate your tire?
Like, no, don't rotate the tire.
Supposedly it messes up the spokes. Like if you don't rotate it every couple ride.
Yeah, I use the Steerzo because actually I do enjoy that the Steerzo has some play. So when you are riding, but I don't use it for steering ever. It worked fantastic in Zwift.
It worked
I bought
in RGT.
It not knowing that it was locked to Zwift.
It worked in RGT, but it wasn't supported. It's kind of like what this is now.
Well, actually, no. Do you know how it worked? Is if you had your phone on the handlebar with the RGT app open, the Steerzo leaned the bike enough that it would register steering through the RGT app.
Was that what it was? I remember it would connect. Like the Steerzo would connect, but I don't think the Steerzo would steer.
No, it would. RGT would steer with your phone leaning.
God, that was such a bad implementation.
Or
I tried. Yeah, no, yeah. They had couple. Let's go down memory lane here because we're coming up to. Oh no, it's in a month. It'll be like 3. It's like 3 years since RGT's been gone, right?
Yeah,
it's like 2022 and whatever. The steering was one thing, but they spent a lot of time when Wahoo got them. They spent a lot of time on the in-game voice chat. I remember they were working on that a lot. And it was like, why do they need this? You don't need this. We tried it and it was like, nobody used it. Nobody used it. Even in big races. I was doing big races. What was it? The Flanders Classics.
Discord is so prevalent and works so well.
Yeah, but you can't get everyone in the same ride to do it. If you're doing a group ride and you're riding with your buddies, that's fine.
And
but
I want to hear other people talking?
Well, the idea is to have the in-race proximity communication to say, hey, rotate through, pull through, which is where you're not getting the nonverbal sort of like, hey, read the race, because there's a lot of people that weren't reading the race. But then there's also sort of like the trying to be strategic or try to do a breakaway and telling people, like if you're talking to somebody, that's why there's no, that's not why there is, but there isn't any sort of private messaging within the app in certain things. It's all through their secondary app. So you're like, hey, you want to do this? Which is like, hey, you want to do a breakaway? And somebody will say, yes, no, I'm in a recovery race, so I'm not going to do my breakaway.
I feel like it's a good idea, but people ruin things.
Oh yeah, totally. That's why I think that's no. I'm
like,
for.
Could you imagine
in
a Zwift race with someone doing like 6.0?
No, I don't.
Every single person in voice chat would be like, "What the f are you doing? You effing jerk!" Like people would be shadow banned constantly for
yes. My point is that they shouldn't have spent that much time on development of steering, the steering that they did, and the voice chat. They should have spent it on.
I did like that RGT steering allowed you to block. That was awesome.
The blocking was pretty cool.
Line up across the road, let somebody go.
You could be like, team tactics. We're blocking this shit.
Yeah. All right, no more RGT. Moving on. Casey, what's up?
What else we got?
ZRS.
So they got some ZRS changes, and I'm gonna forget all of them, but a couple big ones.
1 sec.
I think Zwift is doing some good things here. They're trying, right? And I think that's important. Yeah, thanks for pulling that up, Lee. To me, I think the big takeaways here is they're putting a little decay into it. So if you're not a regular racer, your score is going to start decaying if you don't race on a regular basis. The one I want to call out that I think will, if it's used consistently, I think it will take away one of the biggest struggles they're having right now, and it is this the idea of being able to set up events to use your 30-day maximum score. So instead of me being categorized based on what my score is today, I'm categorized based on what my 30-day maximum is. These people that are winning a few races and then tanking their score, you're stuck. If you break into that 690 plus, you're stuck there for 30 days, right? And I think it'll take away some of that sandbagging. You either want to race or you don't. You're going to have to a lot more deliberately manipulate your scoring with this 30-day max thing. Where Zwift is going to screw up is right now it's an option when they set up races. I'm fearful they're not going to use the option enough. In my opinion, that should be the default. A majority of races should use the 30-day max feature, in my opinion.
I'm laughing because I don't care at all. It's like they're just trying to band-aid something that they created.
And what's funny is when ZRS came out, you could look through Zwift Power at every single race for the first few months, and the races were as close as they had ever been in the history of Zwift racing. But a lot of the problems now is like there's not a lot of people in the races. You're getting people like 4 people.
What is the biggest complaint? What's the biggest complaint from Zwift Racing Score?
A lot of the complaint is you don't drop down, or then when you do drop down, people are like, I'm getting beat by people that are way faster than me, because the people that do drop down have to then work their way back up. It's just this weird dynamic with the seed score and all that.
Are people complaining because they know what's happening and then they're like, I don't agree with what's happening, or they still don't know what's happening? Like I still don't know what's happening.
I think it's a lot of this self-policing thing too. I think people are just getting so angry about this. I'm going to do well and I'm going to jump up above 690 and then I can't find a damn race. So I'm going to blow a few races and come back down and keep racing at the lower level. And I think you've got that at every category level, right? Whatever that cutoff is between C and B, you got people doing the same thing. They win a few races, then they tank it and they come back down.
Who is this for? Still, who is this for? Well, I think we care because they're telling us we're supposed to care.
There's nobody racing. That's the issue.
Just don't even show anybody the Zwift Racing Score and just put people where they're supposed to be. Just put people where they're supposed to be and don't tell me the race score. And then people will be like, oh, whatever, I just race. That's what it should be.
Part of the race score issue is that it's a race score, but there's race score, but there's categories for race score. Should be no categories. Your score is your score. Every race is a mass start.
I'm for stop telling us, that's probably James Bailey. I think he said it at the beginning. Hey, for those people that don't read the forums, that's me. I don't even read this, so I don't even know anything about this. So you're posting it for me. Just say we're not going to show you any race score, or race score is going away. Just show up to your races and race, and you'll be paired with the people. And the people, like, there's people that are going to go, I want to know what's going on. And the people like you, like Casey and Brian, I'll throw Lee in there too. You guys say you know what's going on, but I don't think you really do know what's going on.
No, we don't.
Yeah. And they're like, this is going to be a good I think we should I think ignorance is bliss, and just like, just let people show up to a race and be like, you're in this group. People are like, I'm not in this group. No, this is what we have, the data, and it's hidden to you, but we know what we're doing because we're Zwift.
I think the people whose racing score annoyed the most were the people who knew how to game the old category system really well. Yeah. Who could stay a lifetime C, even though they're probably a mid-pack B.
Yeah. Get rid of the category.
It annoyed them because they had to move up.
Agreed. I agree. What they should do is hey, you can have an A rate, what is it? There's still A, B, C, D races that are not race score races, correct? And then there's like race score.
Only if a secondary person sets it up.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like Zwift should just be like, this is a race. This is a race score race, but we're not going to show you the race score. So like, if you do this, you will be paired with the people that you're supposed to be paired with based on our numbers. And then
to me, this is the biggest Zwift issue. Like, I'm looking at today, they're running the 10 after the hour race that they run every hour all day long. The largest number of finishers in that race today was 76, and that's across 5 categories. but the A cat was 15, the B cat was 9, the C cat was 27, the D cat was 20. That's the biggest in the last 24 hours, right? Like most of them were 20 finishers. This one was 76. There's 76 in here. There was 95 that lined up as a B category in ZRL in my one division on Tuesday night. I was racing against 96 people. If I joined this race, I was racing against 14 in my category. That's what our struggle is you can't find good racing.
But aren't
like
those both
Brian,
race?
without
Aren't those
going
race?
to those scheduled ones?
But aren't those both race scores races?
No, ZRL doesn't use race score.
Why not?
Because it sucks.
So, is that proving my point? Or
kinda.
It's like, oh, the 14 is more coveted. It's not more coveted.
I still have high hopes for it.
Whatever.
Like I still have high hopes. I still think it could be a good system.
I just think it's content. I think it's something for them to talk about.
I think
it's something that they did.
What they're changing, I think is positive movement in the race score if they're going to try to salvage it. Is it gonna salvage it? I don't know. Is Zwift ever going to be able to figure out racing? I don't know.
No. Even Zwift Racing, what's the Zwift Racing app?
Yeah.
What's that one? They don't even know what to do. They really don't know what to do because the racing quality is so bad on this game.
Yeah.
That's the reason why. The racing quality is the problem.
And we're doing ladder racing, which is so much fun compared to this open world racing. This ladder racing is awesome.
I want to pose a question to the audience, not for necessarily right now.
Oh, there's people listening to the show?
Oh, there's a lot of people, a bunch of people. Because
Right,
Casey and I were talking about this offline before Casey gets into ladder racing. We were talking about different kinds of races that would make the game really exciting. And I would like to do an entire episode of this in the future because we could probably go on for hours of the different kinds of races that we want to see. But I want the audience
only if I get to do a whole show on RGT. Because that's probably the most, that's where people tune out. When I start talking RGT, people are like, I don't even know what the hell that game is.
So
you guys talk about Swift Racing Score.
Like, so Casey can go into ladder racing because ladder racing is super interesting. It's different. And Casey and I threw some ideas back and forth, but I want to hear from the audience on what they think. What kind of a race would they like to see and would make them want to participate?
Yeah. So, and that's a great idea, Lee, because
that is a good question.
We had a lot of good ideas on, and it wasn't about like, we didn't need new worlds to do these racing. Some of them you needed to tweak roads or whatever, but some of it was just conceptually like, they just need to do this. So yeah, I'll be curious. Throw it out in Discord for you folks listening, what you come up with, because we had a lot of good ideas. On the ladder racing, this whole 4-on-4, 5-on-5, this strategy type racing, I've done I think 2 a week for about 3 weeks now. Every
give
race
us a little for the people that don't know ladder racing like myself.
So ladder racing,
give a little breakdown of what ladder racing is.
Yeah, so ladder racing, I mean, there's a whole thing to the league and all that, but essentially you go into a ladder race, it's 5v5. First place is 10 points, second place is 9, all the way down to 1 point for the last finisher.
So it's 10 riders, five on one team, 5 on the other team on one course for the race. Got it.
Most points, team wins. So you got to have, I think it's 27 points to win, 27 or 28, the way it breaks down with the numbers. So the winner gets 10 points, second place gets 9, so on. So what it gets to be is a lot more strategic. We have sprinters, they've got 20-minute power. We just need to hold on to them and sprint. There's like this one I did this week, the worst power-ups in the game, burritos and ghosts. Terrible.
Yes.
I can't believe they set us up like this, but it turned out to be a great race because it absolutely punished people to have to cover a ghost attack. One guy bridged to us with a ghost. We didn't even know he was ghosted, and all of a sudden he popped up in our group. We were 5 seconds up the road going hard, and he bridged completely with a ghost. I was like, that kind of stuff is great. But it was in that race, for example, we just relentlessly punished our teammates or our other team until they just slowly fell off. I went back and looked at the results. It was on Crit City. We did 12 laps, so there's 24 banners total, right?
Mhm.
Start, finish, and calm. We went through the banner first, both banners. So 24 banners. My team went through that banner first 22 times, 23 times out of the 24 in that race, like the entire race. We won the calm every single lap.
Okay, so you were getting points per.
No, it was just
it's only for crossing the line at the end or crossing the line on the lap.
Crossing the line at the end, but that represents was how aggressive my team was being. We were always attacking the calm. We were always on the front. We were always chasing. So we just did this. We get in this conveyor belt, right? One guy launches, he gets 4 or 5 seconds. The other team pulls us back. The next guy launches, he gets 4 or 5 seconds. They got to pull again. We just keep doing that. And it's that concept where we're all hurting, but you got to hit them when they hurt to drop them off, and then they'll give up, kind of thing. So it's a whole different dynamic.
So it's not
racing.
it's not like a points race where you're trying to accumulate points throughout the race and
then
the finishing
line.
Yeah. It's just about that's a cool strategy.
It's all about the finish line. So it's a lot of fun. Like we got into one a couple weeks ago where we were going up a fairly long hill. We had dropped 2 of their riders, and they had 2 riders going up the road in front, and kind of like only one of their riders was with us. And I had one of my teammates trying to go up the road to catch those 2 on a hill. And I called him back, and I'm like, no, you come back. Because if all 5 of us stay together, even if their one guy stays with us, if all 5 of us stay together when we drop the 2 off the back, we win. Let them have first and second. Let them go up the road if they can go away. Our one teammate could have stayed up with those 2, but the 4 of us that were left wouldn't have been able to hold off the 2 behind. So it's that kind of in the moment thinking that you had to do in the race. It's more than just the strongest guy wins.
So who puts on these ladder races? How did you find this? How did this start, and how long has it been going on?
It's been going on a long time. I think they've got 4 or 5 ladder divisions. They have like a Europe. They've got an Asia one. There's the Americas ladder, and you can cross over from ladder to ladder, and it's not really categorized. Your team can only spread across 3 Z Racing categories. So it's that Z Racing score that you were referencing
on the math. Yeah. So you have to have a mathematician to figure out who can be on your team.
It's super interesting to watch, though.
Well,
it's totally awesome to watch.
Yeah, that Z Racing part of it is kind of just a small detail. What it comes down to is the ladder is the entire group of teams, right? It doesn't matter. If you challenge another, you can challenge up the ladder like 5 or 7 spots. If you challenge up the ladder, if you beat them, you take their rung. They come down to your rung. So if you're 10th and you challenge 5th and beat them, you're now 5th and they go to 10th.
Sounds exactly like how Racing Score should work.
Yeah. And if you challenge up the ladder and you lose, you just stay where you're at. Like there's no penalty to losing. You're just constantly trying to fight
so
for
it's interesting
a rung on the ladder.
It's like, do you jump 5 steps or do you take 1 rung at a time?
Yeah.
There's a lot of like, you're looking at everyone's Zwift power. Do you think we could beat this team? Like, oh, they got a guy who, like it's a lot of strategy.
Yeah. So we climbed the ladder. We won like 4 or 5 straight. We ended up 5th and challenged 3rd and got humbled massively. Like A+ riders lining up. They just punished us until no one was left. And I think it was 4 of them off the front at the end of the race, right? Like just one at a time picking us out. But they all averaged like 4 or 5 for the race.
Where are you racing this on? This is on what platform?
Zwift.
Okay.
Yep. So it's a great thing if you can get into it. It's a lot. It's a different kind of
race. Do they have ladder races on other platforms or no?
No, but there's no reason they couldn't. It's just as long as you've got good results and you can create the events, you could do it anywhere.
Well,
I think it'd be great actually to do it at
other platforms and racing.
Segue. There we go.
Yeah. Big update is Echelon has moved to Training Peaks Virtual.
Yep.
So for the 2025-2026 season, Echelon is hosting all races on Training Peaks, which I would also believe would be U.S. Nationals.
Yes,
Probably.
it is. I think I found that.
And
actually.
I would probably say Canadian Nationals would probably follow, because they typically have used Echelon as, for their race organization. I think this is a fantastic move. I really like TPV, and I would love to see more organized racing on TPV.
Yeah.
I'm going to look into this. I want to try this. I think they'll get a lot of people too. Echelon seems to have a pretty solid group of people doing it.
Would I get DQ'd in the first race in Training Peaks Virtual?
Well, Training Peaks Virtual does have the benefit of built-in, limits.
Right. But
So,
it's like,
you'd probably not. Unless you're going for a 1 hour world record, you're not going to get sticky wadded.
Yeah.
I will be curious how they do that, if they even try to categorize, like, because the built-in TPV categorization, if you set it up, is dynamic, right? It's whoever enters the race based on their racing history and their racing score, it splits them up, right? So I could be in the first starting pin if I'm the strongest rider in the group, and if I'm 10th out of 20, I may be in the third group.
And for the people wondering, the training races that are on Tuesday, the race itself is free. Anyone can join. You do not need a TPV subscription. And the first Tuesday of every month, TPV is free for just general riding. So you can race every Tuesday for free in TPV.
Right on.
To try it out.
This is this is on the screen, but we'll just read it out here. Echelon Racing League returns, because it's been going on for 5 years. This is like 5th year, 6th year maybe. Training Peaks Virtual, the one-day classics start on 11th or 11/1 to 11/2, and then stage race, then one-day classics, stage race, one-day classics, stage race, and then national championships for the United States on January 31st, which is way better than it's been, which was, I think it was like the first weekend or the second weekend of the new year, and you're just like trying to get through the holidays to then race a national championship. And that course we did on my whoosh, oof,
horrible.
That was tough. So this is very cool.
My whoosh wasn't horrible. The course was horrible.
No, the course was bad. It wasn't the my whoosh thing. It was the course was just punishing you. You could never get in a groove. It was up and down and up and down and up and down. Well, maybe the designer of that course is bad, because it was like a BMX race.
He liked 20-second intervals, repeats.
It wasn't even 20 seconds. It was like 2-second intervals.
I know they won't do it, but I want them to put bots in this. Get us 50 humans and 50 bots. Their bots are so amazing. It breaks up a race.
They probably could. They probably won't.
Well, TPV, apparently there's a bot update where if the bot doesn't feel that you're doing work, it will stop working.
Now it's going to be like you're going to have to be a good participant.
The bot will not burn matches for you, because the bot does have its own fitness. And if the bot is going, I don't feel like you're pulling or you're working, so the bot just shuts it down and goes, I'm not going to do anything.
Doesn't counterattack you.
That's great, because that's been my strategy. Is right. You could get one of those guys to make the move, and you get out there with them, and they were smart enough to chase you. So if you pushed the pace on a bot, he would chase you, and then you let up and just ride his wheel for 3 or 4 miles. And then if they started coming back, you could pull him again, and he would chase you. But I've not had one actually sit up on me like that. I think that's great. Their bots are fantastic. Like I said, it introduces that unpredictability, right? Us as humans are predictable when we get into the bike racing all the time. And if you have 100% humans, you can be unpredictable, but we're consistently not that unpredictable in a race. But the bots, if you
now, are you saying in general racing or like Zwift racing?
I think in the indoor space, we have the general public and the general population is you're going to get like I'm making up numbers, but you're going to get 3% of the riders that are willing to be aggressive in normal, all human racing on any platform, right? You don't get that many riders that are willing to sell their soul for a break, that kind of thing. You get into the ones with these bots, and every single race you will have 8 or 9 aggressive bots, and you're going to have attacks out of the pack every 90 seconds at the beginning of the race. And you can go with those moves and exploit those bots, right? You can find partners in the bots when the humans will just let you burn, right? You almost always have to be solo. Where TPV, it's more dangerous, right? With those bots. The unpredictability of it, I that's the part I enjoy. Is if I had to pick the favorite racing that I think would be the best racing out there right now, it would be going to TPV and doing half bots and half humans. I think that would be the funnest racing.
And I think
straight up racing.
The misconception by a lot of people is that the bots are overpowered, but they're not. The bots are completely tailored to your fitness signature. So even though the bots are attacking you, you could still beat them. You got to dig deep.
Even RGT bots were good. RGT bots were good. TPV bots are good. I think the Biketerra bots, I don't know if they're any good or anything like that, but the reckless speculation here is most people think bots, they think pace partner.
Yeah.
And they don't really know bots. And they're like, I don't want to race against a robot or a bot because I want to race against people because it's a social platform. But if you, like Casey said, if you race against bots, I remember racing about old bots, like in 2 years, like Indie Velo bots, and they were still fun.
Well, I think to use buzzwords, the TPV bots are more AI. They have fitness. Oh, yeah. They have a gas tank. They can burn through their gas tank if they so choose. And when they do burn through their gas tank, they go and sit at the back and don't really do a whole lot. But they think they've
evolved. They've evolved. Yeah. Like even the RGT had race bot and they had a pace bot.
But they will run their algorithm until they fail. And I think that's where people get messed up on TPV when they say the bots are too hard. It's like, no. You're not used to riding against 20 humans who are willing to do 100% of their potential in a race. Yeah. And the bots will, right? You have got to go to your limits to beat the bots strategically.
You have to be strategic in your
a lot of Zwift choices people use
attacking or whatever.
Races for workouts.
Right.
And that's the problem. This is not like a group ride race. No. Like a race is a flipping race. You're burying yourself to win this race. And that's TPV and the bots.
If you're going into a race on TPV with accurate race scores and fitness numbers for you, like you've been riding it on a regular basis, there is no casual race. And you will get your butt handed to you.
And they react like real people. If there's 5K left and a bot goes for it, most of the time I'm like, he's not going to last. See ya, bot. And you let him go. You don't chase. And with 2K left, you swallow them back up because he burned his match.
Yeah.
You've got the ones, you got the climber bots, right? You'll hit that incline and they shoot off like a rocket and they're 3/4 of the way up the hill doing 2 mile an hour backwards, right? Like falling off their bike because they went too hard. But
all right, we got a hard 6 o'clock.
Yep.
2 minutes out. But
so back to Biketerra, if we want to talk about one more thing.
Yeah, one more thing really quick.
Was it Tour de Monday starting? January 1st. Yeah.
For those of people that lasted the whole show.
Yeah.
Tour de Monde. Tour de Monde.
I don't know, I'm doing the Brian White
pronunciation. Tour de Monde, which is Tour of the World on Biketerra.
Okay.
And we will post it on the Discord for everybody.
It's posted on Felty posted on the Discord.
Felty posted it. Yeah. So if people want to go on and do some Biketerra,
January 1st,
you can ride with. I think you can ride with people. The payment is just for you're building your own GPX and magic roads, but like you can ride on the events and stuff for free and try it out and check out the new animations. So
Biketerra is free. Yeah.
All right. On that note, top of the hour. Bye, everybody. Thanks.
Awesome.